You guys really enjoy when I make money, guys, so I thought, what could I do next that I haven't done before? Oh yeah, how about every method you can possibly make money in GTA Online? I thought of all the possible ways, from the simplest to the most complicated. There's gonna be a whole range of different money methods in this video. If I do end up missing one, make sure to comment it down below, but I wrote down all of the ones that I can possibly think of. Beginning with the simplest ones you can do, which is just taking out pedestrians. They usually drop like 20 bucks, 50 bucks, maybe a few hundred if you get lucky, but I would never actually do this as a money method. I guess if you're feeling like a menace, you can take out pedestrians and take a little bit of cash, but not the greatest money method ever. Then a beginner's money method I feel like we've all done before. Every single GTA player has to have done this at least one time, is robbing a store. You can get about 1,000 to 1,500 bucks. Climbing the ladder and getting a little more serious, the next method is taking out bounties. This used to be so popular back in the day. It was actually one of the most entertaining and intense thing, chasing bounties around free roam, and you can get anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 for taking out a bounty. Another method back in the day is stealing street cars and actually going to Los Santos Customs and selling them. Now, a method that both beginners and veterans still do to this day in GTA Online is completing time trials. There are 4 different time trials you can do in the game. The first one is the junk energy time trial. There's no requirements for it. You just go to it, press right D-pad, and then it automatically spawns you in on a bicycle, and then you get a payout of about $51,000 from that one. For people that own an RC Bandito, the RC time trial also pays about $51,000. Then the regular time trial is basically for any motorcycle or car you want to use for it. It pays just over $100,000. And finally, the best paying one is the HSW time trial, only available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Of course, only usable with HSW upgraded vehicles. That's gonna pay out just over $250,000. A free money method anyone could do in free roam is go to any one of the 3 Pizza This restaurants around the city, go into the white circle, press right D-pad, and then you have 5 total deliveries to make to different houses and apartments. It pays more or less $20,000 for the whole 5 deliveries, and then you have a 48-minute cooldown on each restaurant, so you can do it back to back to back with all 3 restaurants, and then you will have a cooldown on pretty much all of them. A spray painting activity you can do is the LS tags. You go to a location that has a basket of spray cans, press right D-pad on that, and then you need to find 5 different locations to spray paint some posters, or I should say commercial advertisement signs, like for banks and different gas stations, and it's going to be a randomized location each day. So there's 5 different locations you need to go to. It does change day by day, and so it's a daily activity you can do, and for each spray you actually get $15,000, meaning if you complete all 5 you get yourself 75k, which is actually a lot, especially considering there's no requirements for this. Anyone can do it for completely free. There's also loads of different free mode challenges and events, for example, like who can pull a wheelie on a motorcycle the fastest and stuff like that, and that would usually get you about $10,000 to $20,000 if you get first place. Whenever you go in a free roam session, usually when there is one, there's only like a few people going for them. Most people just don't care and just go about their business. Another way you can potentially make money in GTA Online is going to the casino and spinning the wheel once per day. There's several different prizes you can win, like RP, of course, money as we talked about. You can also get the podium vehicle if you get lucky. The most amount of money you can get from the wheel is actually $50,000, which is not bad, but you just gotta get lucky, really. If you own a police car, you can do a special type of mission in free mode, which is called dispatch work. So go in a police car, press down on the left stick and then right on the D-pad. That's gonna start up the mission. Then you go to a certain location, take the person out, leave the area, and that's gonna get you $25,000. After finishing it, it's gonna give you a couple minute cooldown before you can start another one, but that's a pretty decent money method. Taxi work is another thing you can do, which is basically just picking someone up and driving them to their destination in a taxi cab. If you want to start these up, the location for it is right under the casino. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really pay that well, so unless it has a big bonus on it, I wouldn't really recommend it. And speaking of bonuses, every single week there's different bonus jobs you can play in GTA Online, whether it's stunt races or contact missions or adversary modes or last team standings. If you go into Rockstar created jobs, there's so many different game modes you can play, and the bonus money ones are actually pretty good. One of my personal favorites is sumo, so whenever sumo has double or triple money on it, I definitely recommend doing that. Depending on the job, some jobs would have double money sometimes, and some would even have as much as 5 times money in RP, which is crazy. Of course, anyone can do them for absolutely free, so grind those a bit and you can definitely make yourself yourself a few $100,000 if you play them for a good amount. Ever since the original heist update came out in GTA Online all the way back in 2014, I feel like GTA Online has become very heist oriented, and that's probably some of the best, if not the best, method of making money in GTA Online. It really depends which heist, because there's a lot of them. The original heist probably paid the least because they did come out the longest time ago. On average, they would pay you about a couple $100,000, which isn't nearly as good as the other ones. The Diamond Casino heist is another popular one that you can start up through the arcade, and the 3 Doomsday heists you can start up through the facility. They're pretty complicated, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all heists, I believe the Doomsday ones are the hardest. With that said, they're still really cool and very high tech, so I definitely recommend doing them at least once. My personal favorite, and a lot of people's favorite I feel like, is the Cayo Perico heist that you can start up through the Kosatka submarine. That one you can actually do completely solo, so I highly recommend doing it. Basically, you fly out to a tropical island, do some scoping out and some more setups, and in the finale you end up stealing some gold or drugs or cash or other expensive items from the compound, and you get out of there. That's basically the gist of it. I do have a solo guide on how to complete it if you want to go check it out, but completing it solo you can get more or less $1.3 million. Completing all the scoping out and all the setups and the finale would probably take the average person about 45 minutes to an hour. For beginners, probably a little longer. That is not a lot of time for the amount of money that you get, so highly recommend doing this one. This is probably the main heist to GTA Online that everyone likes to do, and it still is the best money method even after getting nerfed not once but twice. A heist you can actually start up for completely free, which is one of my favorites in the game, is the Cluckenbell farm raid. All you need to do is go to the V icon at the police station in free mode. Completing 5 setups and then a short finale is gonna get you a set payout of $500,000. That's a pretty good money method right there. If I were you, I would love just to alternate between the Cayo Perico heist and the Cluckenbell farm raid. Those are 2 amazing methods. Inside of the auto shop property, you can start up auto shop contracts, which I like to say are pretty much mini heists. They don't take as long as actual heists, but at the same time they don't pay as much, so on average you're going to be making about a few $100,000 for completing 2 setups and then 1 finale mission. Owning a bunker can be pretty useful. There's 2 main ways of making money. The first way is buying or stealing supplies, then your crew basically converts that into product, and then you sell that product, and then you make a good amount of money. This is definitely a very long-term method because it takes a long time to actually max out the product bar. Also, there's a quick money method with a bunker, which is the ammunition deliveries. So in the front of your bunker, you're going to see an ammunition truck, which you can go up to, press right D-pad, and that's going to start up a very easy delivery mission, and it's going to give you a set payout of $50,000 just from driving to that destination with a little bit of NPCs chasing you. That's all. One of my favorite quick money methods in the game, so definitely take advantage of that one daily. Actually, there's only a 48-minute cooldown, so it's not even once per day. It's actually once per in-game day, which is once again 48 minutes. Owning an agency gets you a lot of different ways of making money. The agency is probably the best money-making property out there, maybe besides the Kosatka if you count that one as a money-making property. The agency allows you to go on the computer and start up security contracts, which are relatively quick missions. They take about 5 to 10 minutes, and you can get anywhere from $35,000 all the way up to $70,000 depending on the difficulty of the mission. Also inside of the computer, you have the Dr. Dre contract, which I want to say is sort of like a heist, but for some unknown reason a lot of people don't really consider it a heist, even though it's very similar to one. So there's a couple of setup missions, and then you can do it completely solo. In total, it would probably take about an hour and a half to complete everything, and after the finale it gives you a set payout of $1 million. Owning an agency also gets you Franklin as a contact on your phone, and if you call him outside, you can actually start a payphone hit mission, which is also a pretty short one. Completing the assassination bonus, you're going to be making about $45K. Owning a bail office is going to get you a lot of different money methods. It has passive income, which we'll get a little bit more into in a sec. The main money making method is capturing bounty targets. So you're going to get a high demand bounty target, which is going to give you about $130,000 every single day, and the other 3 are going to give you much less but are a little easier to capture. So at a time you have 4 different bounties that you can choose from, and also only for people that own a bail office, you're going to get a target icon on the map with a little $sign. Those are Madrazo hits. They're very simple missions that should only take a few minutes and give you a set payout of $30,000. The CEO office gives you many different ways of making money. The first one being the special vehicle missions. They're jobs that require you to use special vehicles vehicles, like for example the ramp buggy or the phantom wedge. They're pretty fun missions to do every now and then. There's also CEO special cargo that you need to have a cargo warehouse for. You basically fill it up, you steal supplies, kind of like with the bunker. You fill up as much cargo as possible and eventually you sell it for a lot of money. Similar idea with the CEO vehicle cargo. You get a vehicle warehouse and then you steal vehicles and eventually sell them to people for more money. You can also find missions through the CEO menu in the interaction menu. Inside of VIP work, you have a couple different missions you can start. I personally really like doing Headhunter. Hostile Takeover is also a pretty fun one. Some more missions you can do are these special missions that you can only find inside of the mobile operations center and also in the touch screen of the Terabyte. So if you go inside the Terabyte, there's some special missions you can do in there, like different robberies. Motorcycle clubhouses give you a bunch of little businesses you can own, like for example the weed farm. I personally don't really mess with them. I don't think they're the greatest way of making money. In the nightclub, you can make money both actively and passively. The active side of it is basically run like the CEO office and the bunker cell missions, but the passive income of the nightclub is definitely unmatched. It's by far the best passive income you can generate in GTA Online. As long as you keep the popularity bar up, you're going to be generating $50,000 every in-game day by just playing the game, doing whatever else you want to do. You don't even have to mess with the nightclub. And so some other businesses that have a passive income safe like the nightclub include the bail office, the arcade, the agency, the salvage yard. And speaking of the salvage yard, you can also of course make money actively with that business. The tow truck missions I'm not a huge fan of, but then you have the robberies, which gets you to steal usually like super and sports cars. That can make you a few $100,000 and are actually pretty fun to do. I enjoy those. Another easy money method you can do in free mode is G's Cash. You basically go to the cargo icon, like a purple cargo icon on the map. It's gonna highlight a circle, and in that circle you have to find a crate. Go up to that crate, press right D-pad, and that should get you about 20,000 bucks, I think. Another one in free mode is stash houses. You basically break into a place, take out a few enemies, and then steal the contents from the safe, leave the area, and that is the mission done. Sometimes it's gonna give you money, and sometimes it's just gonna resupply one of your motorcycle club businesses. Going to the R icon in Sandy Shores is gonna start a series of first dose missions that you can get a fat first time bonus for doing them. After doing the first one, you unlock the Freak Shop property, which inside of there is the Brickade 6x6, which you can make into the Acid Lab, which is basically a business on wheels. It's a really useful vehicle overall, but after completing the first dose missions, then you get a set of last dose missions that you can also get a very nice first time bonus for. On top of these, by owning a Freak Shop property, you get Dax as a contact on your phone. You can call him up outside and then start some Fooligan missions, which give you a payout of up to $50,000 for only a couple minute mission. I think I went over every possible way of making money in GTA Online, and once again, if I did miss one, comment it down below because there's so many to track. Drop a like on this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you're new for more awesome videos like these that you do not want to miss, and click the video on screen now for a solo Cayo Perico heist guide. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.